Over the past few days, I was constantly getting called out for not making a video about this Pro Panja League versus Ryan Bowen or Parveen Dabas, the owner of Pro Panja League versus Ryan Bowen subject. I'll let you know the reason why I didn't upload a video about this or why I didn't upload any video in last 9 days. 9 to 10 days, but that will be after all the important talking is done. This might be a long video, so you might want to change the speed to 1.25x. It will save you some time. So first of all, how did this controversy start? All of this started a little over 2 years ago. I was the one who suggested to Ryan Bowen that you should have a super match against India's number one, Mazahir Saidu. And he liked the idea. He talked with Mazahir Saidu. Mazahir got the permission from Pro Panja League, from Parveen Dabas. He approved that, but then later I also talked with the owner of Pro Panja League and he was like, next time please at least talk with us before you suggest our contracted athletes to compete anywhere else. And that was a totally fair point. Despite that, he willingly agreed to let Mazahir compete overseas in Ryan Bowen's AWE organization. Then a couple of other matches were also scheduled. I think Yuvraj Verma was also supposed to compete there. Then season 1, Rahul Panekar lost to and got injured against Shivjit Janardhanan. So Rahul was replaced by Shivjit. None of those matches could happen because none of the Indians got visa for Australia. Then later the same idea continued. This time Pro Panja League invited Ryan Bowen to India to compete against Mazahir, and that was, as per Ryan, one of his most difficult matches ever. It was an absolute war. The score ended 4-3. So where's the controversy in that? So as per Pro Panja League, it was Ryan who requested loose reffing in that match. Before the match started, the league stood on the point that there should be strict WAF style rules. And the referees were okay with that. The players were okay with that. The player Mazahir Saidu was okay with that. But Ryan said that this is a super match. It's a professional event. We should let the small fouls slide. We should not call them. So everyone agreed. But when some mistakes happened because of that, some fouls were not called on Mazahir. And I think some fouls were also not called on Ryan Bowen. Maybe it could have been that Mazahir was fouling more than Ryan. And those were not getting called. That's why towards the end, Ryan started complaining about the poor refereeing, not only during the match, but also after the match in the comments, in the videos. I think he was publicly saying that as well, that the refereeing was kind of not fair. That's what pissed off the Pro Panja League owner. He was like, we were okay with the strict rules. It was Ryan who wanted loose reffing. And when this happened, he was the one who was complaining. He was the one who chose a very low grip to avoid Mazahir's top roll, to force the hook on him. And because of that, everyone is calling out the referees for giving Mazahir that very high grip. When in fact it was Ryan who was willingly taking that grip. And now he's speaking against the referee. So that was the first thing that started all of this controversy. Then again, it may not have been that serious because for the next season, they asked me about English commentators and I suggested Ryan's name again and they were okay with it. They booked Ryan's tickets to India for season 2, which was supposed to happen last year, but it couldn't happen because the owner had a very serious accident. He was admitted in ICU in a hospital. So that's why it couldn't happen. But the point is Ryan was invited. So the matter, it simply couldn't be that serious if they were willing to invite Ryan Bowen again. But it was definitely a thing because I talked with the owner of PPL about this subject and I know it for a fact. So what's my next point? Then Ryan was invited somewhere during that same trip. Even though the event cancelled, Ryan flew to India to maybe arm wrestle with a couple of guys to accommodate to the Indian lifestyle. I think it was his first visit to India. So he came here anyways, and then they organized something for Ryan. There was an event going on. They talked with the event organizers to give an award of some sort to Ryan Bowen. And I think they were again mad because Ryan didn't acknowledge them at all. He was, as per them, he was acting like Ryan got that award. He's such a big celebrity over here. Not even a single mention of Pro Punja League or anything like that. That's what I've heard behind the scenes, not directly from the owners. Then after that, something may have happened in the Asia Cup, I guess, which happened in Delhi, India. Was Ryan there again? I'm not entirely sure about that, but I've heard some stuff about that as well, that he was invited there too. And once again, he did not acknowledge the guys who invited him over there. But I'm not sure about this. Is the only point that I'm not sure about. I may be mistaken about this subject. So then the Chetna versus Yogesh subject, right? That was the final nail in the coffin. So the thing was, Yogesh Chaudhary was the number one arm wrestler of India. Nirmal defeated Yogesh, and I think in the same tournament it was the overall the champions of champion, as we call it in India, the overall event where the winners compete against winners of each weight category. Chetna defeated Nirmal, who recently defeated Yogesh. So now Chetna had the claim to become the number one female arm wrestler in the world. The same story as Pushkar, for once in his life, defeating Denis Siplankov, and immediately after that Devon defeating Pushkar to get the number one spot. So Chetna is the Devon Larratt in this case. But then a month later or 2 months later, Nirmal Devi defeated Yogesh again, or Yogesh defeated Nirmal again. Yeah, so she became the number one arm wrestler once again. Yogesh it was. So this situation was all over the place. Chetna was mad because she was supposed to be the number one female arm wrestler, and PPL was not acknowledging that. They were saying that Yogesh is still the number one arm wrestler, and they stopped posting stuff about Chetna because she was hanging out with Ryan Bowen. She was in a relationship with Ryan Bowen. That was her issue. So I'll just read out the brief summary of Ryan Bowen's post. It will take a couple of minutes, but I asked AI to summarize it in about 1/3 words. So the initial interference was in November 2024 when Chetna was having personal crisis, abusive marriage, stuff like that. Parveen advised her to stay away from Ryan because Ryan is manipulating her for his Australian arm wrestling gain or something like that. Then the pressure and engagement. As Ryan and Chetna's relationship grew, they eventually became engaged. Parveen and his associates continued to pressure Chetna to cut ties with Ryan. And that was because Ryan at that point was banned by Pro Punja League. I'm totally against all sorts of banning. So I'm against PPL on this banning stuff as well, which I'll talk towards the later part of this video. Then the Pro Punja League Super Match ultimatum. Parveen offered Chetna a high-profile match, but on the condition that Ryan could not be her corner man. I'll talk about the conditions because they are very interesting. The conditions that Ryan Bowen and Chetna put forward to Pro Punja League. When Chetna refused to participate without Ryan, she was removed from the match. That is true. Before I read the further points, I'd like to read out Ryan Bowen's conditions, the conditions that were laid out to Pro Punja League by Ryan Bowen. So this is a group that Ryan created for Chetna Super Match. Chetna and I have created this group for the purpose of, as mentioned in a call, these are the conditions for the match being accepted. So these are the conditions for the match being accepted, right? Condition number 1, Ryan will be Chetna's cornerman at the event. Ryan knew that he was already banned at this point. Otherwise, why would he feel the need to write this as the first point of the conditions which are must for that super match, for the Yogesh versus Chetna super match to happen? So he was banned. That's why he had to write it here that he will be in Chetna's corner, because otherwise anyone can be in anyone's corner. I've never heard arguments about that. Like, you just name who's going to be in your corner and you get that guy or girl, whoever it is. Then second point is public acknowledgement. By the way, again to mention, these are the points put forward to Pro Punja League by Ryan Bowen for that Chetna versus Yogesh match. Public acknowledgement that Chetna is the current COC in marketing build up to the event and Yogesh is the challenger. So now at this point, I also got a little bit frustrated when I heard about these points. Like, Ryan is telling PPL who they should market as their number one arm wrestler in the world. In the country, not in the world. So as I mentioned earlier, they were saying that Yogesh is the number one, Chetna is the challenger, and Ryan wanted that to be changed. He said that public acknowledgement that Chetna is the current champion of champions of India. I don't have the third point, but the fourth point is we will be permitted to independently film the match and have full rights to release our footage as we wish. Now you tell me, what is this point? At this point, come on, Ryan. Like, anybody is going to get pissed off. If I was the owner of the league and I didn't even have any problem, if Ryan was my best friend while putting these conditions in front of me, if he was my best friend, even then I'm going to say that these conditions are bullshit. It's my league. How can you tell me that you will have the full independent right to film not your match but Chetna's match on your social media? I think that was the final nail in the coffin. Then they asked for a neutral referee. Nobody really seemed to complain about it until that time. In fact, PPL right from 2022, they were already having neutral referees. So if I'm from Haryana state, someone else is from Uttar Pradesh state, the referee will be from a third state. They already had that rule in existence, working fully functional rule already. So Ryan did not need to mention that. Sixth point was travel and accommodation expenses paid for Chetna and +1. The +1 is of course Ryan here, to the value of 2x return flights from Guwahati plus accommodation. We will then take care of booking our own travel. There are sometimes business expenses. Like if you incur a loss, the league would obviously like to book your flight tickets. I'm assuming that. I'm not a businessman, but I'm assuming that, so that they can show it as a business expense or a tax write-off, so that we will book our own tickets. I'm not entirely sure if this is a correct demand to make or not, but Ryan is asking for his own tickets. While being banned by Pro Punjab League, he is asking for his own tickets to Pro Punjab League. That's a weird request. 10,000 rupees appearance fees for Chetna. So the thing is that I talked about these conditions with the owner of Pro Punjab League, and he said he was going to pay more than that to Chetna anyways. But these conditions, how can Ryan try to bully them into accepting these conditions? Like, you tell me, would you, as the owner of a league, even if you had not banned the guy who's making these requests, would you accept these conditions or not? So anyways, I'm not going to say everything against Ryan. I have a few points against PPL and the owner of PPL as well, which we'll talk about later in this video. Now let's continue with Ryan's statement on this. And okay, retaliation and contract dispute. Following the refused match, Chetna was cut from all PPL communications and received a legal notice for breaking her contract. She subsequently formally ended her contracts with PPL and Parveen's management company. So, refused the match, she was cut from all PPL communications. That is true, I know it for a fact. Received a legal notice for breaching her contract. I think she has received some legal notices. I'm not entirely sure about what that was. And he was saying that we have subsequently ended her contracts with PPL. I talked with the owner about this. He was saying that Chetna's contract is for 5 years, so 2 years still remain. Chetna is saying that her contract was only for 3 years. It's kind of confusing the way the contract is written. Most of the points say the contract is for 3 years, and there was one point, I'm not going to read it out here, which says that the next renewal of contract will be after 5 years. It is for 5 years. So it is kind of confusing. The league is quite sure that it is for 5 years. The players are not sure about that. I asked 2-3 different players. They all were saying the contract is for 3 years. Somebody was saying 2 years, and they all have the same contract. So it's kind of written in a confusing language, or a language which is not easy to understand who's not in that legal field. That's what I'm going to say about this. As per the league, the contract is for 5 years. Chetna is still violating the contract by competing at GVW. But still, the owner was saying we would have no problem with Chetna competing even back in PPL or even at GVW if GVW was not banned by WAF, if it was approved by WAF. Roman is kind of going back and forth on this subject. He does not have any proof to show that they are okay with WAF, but he's saying even today he messaged me that now finally they got a green signal from WAF that our league is okay, GVW is okay, but again he has not shown any proof. Don't know why. So this situation, we're not going to get into that, the GVW situation at this point. Parveen allegedly, okay, another point, international moves and further threats. Ryan and Chetna pursued international opportunities, with Ryan returning to commentate for King of the Table and East vs West. Parveen threatened Chetna for promoting a King of the Table event. He said that Parveen wanted Chetna to remove that video where she was talking with Michael Todd supporting King of the Table, asking people to purchase the pay-per-view. And these are the things that the owner of PPL doesn't like. He's saying that all of these stuffs are flat out lies. That's the biggest problem that he has. And I tried to communicate between these two a few days ago. I tried to help them find a common ground. And that was the owner's, Parveen Abbas's biggest issue. He was saying that Ryan is publicly lying about me. I have not done any of these things. In fact, he was saying, I request Ryan to prove any of these things, then I'll step down. I'll accept my mistake. But he cannot prove any of these things because they are simply not true. So either Ryan should apologize publicly or prove these things, whatever allegations he's putting on me. Because he takes his reputation very seriously. That's why. But can that be called a thing that is that he's not being able to separate personal issues from professional issues because his personal image is being targeted? But he's the one who built PPL. So whatever Ryan is saying that Parveen Abbas is doing this in PPL, Parveen Abbas is doing that in PPL. Yes, he's talking about Parveen Abbas, but he's also talking about Pro Panja League. So would you call it, as the owner of PPL, not being able to separate professionalism from personal life? It's kind of a confusing point once again. So the bans and threats continued, including a ban on Chetna's best friend for simply sharing a congratulatory story from them. Yes, Kashmiri was her name. She was banned for 3 days because she shared Ryan's post where Ryan was congratulating her and Chetna was congratulating her. But I talked about this subject as well, and they said that there's a different story behind this subject as well, something regarding their team captain. Okay. Then Ryan's rebuttal, illegal coaching. Ryan said, I'm not doing any illegal coaching. I have not charged anyone any penny for anything until now. And he also said that WAF ban statement is also false. He said, I'm not been banned. I'm not currently banned by WAF. So Ryan is accusing Parveen Abbas of defamation, bullying, and making unlawful demands, inhibiting their income from YouTube. As of now, Ryan is not on a work visa. I know this for a fact. So when he's talking about legal and lawful, unlawful subject, I don't think he can be talking about Parveen Abbas hampering his income opportunities in India because he's not on a work visa. He's on a tourist visa. As of now, as of today. Creating a culture of fear among Indian arm wrestlers. Okay, so these were the points. Then Australian Arm Wrestling Federation also put out a post against Ryan Bowen. Maybe you've already seen that, but they were fully supporting People's Arm Wrestling Federation of India and their owners in this subject. That was a little surprise to Ryan. Since then, Ryan has been posting some jabs at PPL. No ban can keep us apart. Posting a photo with Chetna, then a blurred photo, arm wrestling with Indian arm wrestlers, and some stuff like that. So this is the story. And I saw some posts by Parveen Abbas as well. Never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. I think that may be targeted towards Ryan Bowen. Then he posted, one manipulator can poison an entire group, turning friends into enemies and family against family, all while playing the victim. So before I come to my conclusion, I would say I didn't post anything about this subject because my father's brother died. Although I lived here, but that's why I postponed the stream. But I was legally adopted by him. So technically, he was my father. Legally, he was my father. So we are supposed to stay with the family until 5th of October. That was the reason why I didn't post any videos in like last 10 days. So no, I've not been bought by PPL. I've not sold my soul to them. In fact, I'll talk what they are doing wrong in this thing. The PPL owners should have realized until now that banning never works. Even if somebody commits a murder and you ban that guy, somehow people are going to find sympathy for that guy. Engi Terzi is the biggest example of that. Banning never works. The best way I would say to ban someone is to just simply ignore them. If you ban someone, it is eventually going to backfire. The best situation in this case would have been, as I tried talking on a phone call with both Ryan and Parveen separately, to help both of them, because I think Ryan can gain a lot from Indian arm wrestling. Like, he can give a lot to Indian arm wrestling as well. Like, he can be a good coach, he can be a team coach for PPL, one of the PPL teams, he can be a commentator, he can be a player, since next season international players will also be invited. He can give Indian arm wrestling more international audience, more international exposure, especially among the elite arm wrestling groups. But then again, Ryan also gains a lot. Ryan can make a career in Indian arm wrestling, and all of the things that Ryan was good for, helping PPL, he is going to do all of that because of PPL. So he needs PPL even more. So this partnership would have been awesome if it continued, but unfortunately it didn't. When I talked with them on the phone, PPL owner wanted Ryan to either prove the allegations that he has put on him or publicly apologize about the allegations, and like specifically writing that these are the allegations that I put on one Mr. Parveen Dabas, and I have no proof of them. These turned out to be false. Ryan is not willing to do that. Ryan is saying if he wants admittance of guilt, I'm not going to do that. So let this battle continue. Let's meet each other in the court. That's where the situation is standing right now. Ryan's biggest issue is that Parveen is trying to keep him away from Chetna and the Indian arm wrestling players. So now the best situation can be, okay, Ryan Bowen is not invited at any of the PPL events, and the thing ends here. If you start banning, this is a message for PPL, if you start banning people left, right and center, it is not going to end well. I can tell you that, because few years ago when PAFI or Pro Punjab League was able to dethrone the current Indian Arm Wrestling League, which was Indian Arm Wrestling Federation, yes, it was also because they were corrupt. They were using the athletes' money, traveling in good premium class train tickets and staying in good hotels, and the athletes were traveling in sleeper classes, general classes, and they were staying in dormitories. So there was a lot of corruption there. That was the main reason why PPL came into the business, PAFI came into the business, and all of the arm wrestlers accepted them. But one of the reasons was also because when I met people in the BCI, which was the rival arm wrestling federation of IAF for some time, people were competing there. Everybody told me in 2019 that we are sick and tired of the banning that IAF does. If you do this, you're banned. If you do this, you're banned. If you're seen with that guy, you're banned. And now, in this Ryan subject, Pro Punjab League is also essentially doing the same thing. So they should not forget that they were supported with open arms. They're welcomed by the Indian arm wrestling community. A part of that was because they were sick and tired of the banning culture. Banning culture never works, even if you are the person who are right. So if you think you are right, if Ryan thinks he's right, doesn't matter. Ryan is going to gain the sympathy of the international and also maybe national audience because he's getting banned. If the story ended at Ryan Bowen is not invited to the events, he's getting ignored, nobody would have had a problem. People would have said that, okay, Ryan had some issues with Engin Terzi, he had issues with Knuckles Up, he has issues with Australian Arm Wrestling Federation, maybe King of the Table, we're not sure about that. So maybe something happened here as well, not a big deal. But since other players started getting banned, that's where the public sympathy came towards Ryan Bowen. So I think PPL should think about it. They should just ignore this subject completely. Let them arm wrestle. Let Ryan practice with a bunch of guys. I don't think there is any harm in that. Yes, they can think that we have done so much for the Indian arm wrestling community, which he has. Parveen Dabas has done that. I think he may have spent $1 million in the first season, $1 million or more in the second season of Pro Punjab League, with basically no return at all. Who has done that? $1 million in India is like $5 million in USA. Who spends $5 million on arm wrestling for a single event, for a single season? He has done that out of his own pocket. So in Indian arm wrestling, one Akash Kumar Wrist Hunter can claim that he was already a star before PPL arrived. There was no one else. Everyone else PPL has built. You ask Chetna Sharma, who built you? She will say PPL. She'll say Parveen Dabas. So that's why it is kind of justified that he feels bad about this, that he made those athletes and now they're speaking against him. Now they want to compete anywhere they want, even though they are under contracts. But despite that, I would say banning is not going to work. I can challenge anyone in this world on that. You ban a lot of people, they'll eventually gather. All of the banned people will unite. They'll start speaking against you, especially if they have a public face, if they have a good social media presence. It is going to not end well for you. So the ideal situation in this case, just ignore Ryan Bowen for PPL and let him arm wrestle with the guys wherever he wants. Let him stay with Chetna. Don't invite him. Don't allow him at any of the PPL events. and this thing can end here. So once again, I was not bought by PPL. In fact, when I missed commentary due to a similar emergency for 3 days, I told the owner that if I don't return back, then I'm not going to ask for any money even for the 15 days I commentated. I missed for 3 days, then I returned back. So no amount of money can buy me. In fact, I've just commentated for them for twice. That's nothing. So again, a message for Ryan Bowen: don't make any posts against Pro Punjab League or Parveen Dabas. Stop this battle here. A message for Pro Punjab League and Parveen Dabas: don't make any posts about Ryan at all. Like the letter that Paffy sent, they have not made any post. I'm not saying they've made any post, but don't do anything about Ryan Bowen at all. Not even behind the scenes. Just completely ignore him, and don't ban anyone for training with him. Because if you ban them, they're going to speak up against you and your image is going to get tarnished. The guy who gets banned, he will always gain the sympathy of the audience no matter what. This is the rule. Nobody can break this rule. I can tell you that. So that's my message. And thanks for watching. Thanks for staying with me for 26 minutes. I'm sweating all over the place. Need to exit this vehicle right now. After 5th of October, the videos will be regular. Thank you.